was watching the news and the phone rang and it was the doctor and he said, your paperwork came back. And thinking he was going to say, you know, come in the next day and we'll go over the paperwork. He said, sorry to say you're HIV positive and I hope everything works out for you. Click.
You may be feeling like all hope is lost.
You might not know where to turn.
1 minute you might be fine, and next minute you'll be crying, and next minute you'll be scared, the next minute you'll be wondering what's going to happen.
The biggest thing is that you feel alone because you probably don't know anybody else that's positive.
Lo primero que pensé, y sé que muchos de ustedes pudieron haberlo pensado, fue que iba a defraudar a la gente que me rodeaba.
You should just kind of conform to society. You should just, you know, just forget about ever having the life that you wanted. Because that's how I felt at 19 years.
And those are things I felt. And that was 23 years ago.
When you're first diagnosed, it's normal to feel feelings of fear about how people will treat you.
But it's not necessary. It is totally not necessary. Those feelings are normal, but they are feelings that you can overcome.
If you're newly diagnosed and you feel as though you're going to die, please get that thought out your head.
HIV most definitely is not a death sentence.
It's not a death sentence.
It's not a death sentence.
It is no longer a death sentence. You know, I thought for sure that I was gone, but I'm still here.
They have made tremendous strides in medications.
You can live with HIV as long as it's monitored. As long as you live a healthier lifestyle, you can live a long, healthy life.
As a matter of fact, something else will kill me. HIV will not.
Yes, I stand a better chance of getting hit by a bus than I do of dying from AIDS today. Yes.
It's kind of hard to want to say anything to anyone, but you know you need to because you want to get it off your chest.
When you tell a person that you're HIV positive, the bricks, the layers just float out. It feels like you're floating, really. And it makes you feel better.
When you cause stress upon yourself, it actually weakens your immune system. And you don't want to weaken your immune system. You want your immune system to be as strong as possible because it's already fighting the fight of its life.
Stress kills the healthy people, so you know what it'll do to somebody with HIV.
If you're a writer, write it. If you are an artist, put it on a canvas. If you are a musician, sing about it. There's no reason to keep it in.
Excuse me, ma'am, nurse. Is there somebody that you know that has the same disease that I can call up and talk to? Can I have their phone number?
Internet, you might be able to find some local groups as well.
Force it in there. I mean, start to make your own support group if there isn't one. Get mad about it. If there isn't a support group, get kind of upset and start your own support group.
Talk to your best friends because if they're truly your best friends, they're going to be there for you no matter what.
Find somebody, a church. Churches are so open today. And everybody knows somebody who's kind. You get that one kind person on your side, the rest will be smooth sailing.
The fact that I had support made me realize, okay, they have faith in me to still stay alive. Why can't I have faith in myself to still stay alive?
In the beginning, along with being in denial, I gave up.
If you let this diagnosis kill you, it will.
And in fact, if I was to be quite honest, I did things to kind of hurry the process along.
It's something I have to choose to live with, choose to do the things that I need to do to live. And that's the biggest thing. Make a choice to live.
You know, it's just like diabetes or high blood pressure or anything else, as long as you take your med.
At some point, your doctor is going to prescribe medications.
The medication is your link to a long life.
It'll become routine, kind of just like brushing your teeth every day.
If one's not working, something else will.
I only take one pill a day and I don't even notice that I'm taking it sometimes.
My pills, they don't even have any side effects. And that's the way most HIV meds are today.
Where I received the real information about HIV was definitely from my doctor.
It's important that the doctor understand who I am as a person so that he can better treat me.
Do everything that your doctor says, because your doctor is there to help you, not make you feel bad.
It's about him hearing what I'm going through and me listening for the solution and not just being talked at.
You do have to be a little more concerned about your health. You should take more care of your body.
Keep your appointments. And then don't get stressed out. Don't get stressed out, because if it's broken, you can't fix it. Why worry about it?
I am absolutely amazed at what can be done if you do what you're supposed to do.
I think one of the best things to do is just get yourself educated.
The way that you deal with stigma is to find out the facts for yourself. Definitely. You can't fall into the myths about HIV because there are so many out there.
A lot of people still think that HIV and AIDS is them. It's because they over there doing that stuff over there. They weren't doing that stuff over there, we wouldn't have it.
They really thought that a person who was HIV positive was somebody who was sick, somebody who wanted to sleep around, somebody who would probably use drugs, somebody who was just nasty altogether.
She didn't know. So she brought me my own chair to sit in. Kept me away from the children. Brought my own fork, my own plate, my own cup, because she didn't know.
Ignorance is like a disease.
When you are positive, you're going to have people who will treat you differently because you are HIV positive.
People have stigma because they don't know all that they need to know. Lack of knowledge, lack of education.
At the time it was hurtful, because I didn't know. I thought she was just being mean.
You gonna have those folks that not gonna want to eat off the same place you ate off of, and not gonna want to drink out of the same cup you drank out of.
I feel sort of sorry for them in that they're limiting themselves.
So that's where I step in and give you the facts versus the myths. A lot of people still living in the 80s. They're going by what was going on in the 80s. It's 2012. People are living longer with HIV. You don't have to die from HIV and AIDS.
And you're going to have to deal with your own fears and with your own questions about HIV before you're able to educate or disclose to others.
It won't be easy trying to educate, but it has to be done. Nothing is easy in this world. Anything that's given to you is not worth it. Anything that's, you have to put some work in is gonna take some time to do.
See, I'm somebody's son, I'm somebody's brother, I'm somebody's uncle, I'm somebody's lover, I'm somebody's friend. Did nothing change about me except that I have a virus inside of me that's attacking my body.
Me miré al espejo y definitivamente lo que dije fue, sí, ¿qué? Lo único que puedo hacer es pensar en mí, en lo que puede pasar de ahora en adelante.
And you don't have to worry about the shame, the stigma, the bias, the haters. Because Cat Williams said it best. He said, if you ain't got 20 haters by the end of the summer, then you must be doing something wrong.
Just because you have HIV doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you.
HIV doesn't make you who you are.
It don't make or break me.
And it doesn't make you a bad person, the fact that you have HIV.
I'm now HIV positive, but at the end of the day, I'm the same person I was before I was diagnosed.
You can only live for you. You only have one life to live. So live it right. Those who are discriminating and have that stigma against you, they're just ignorant to what HIV really is. As long as you educate yourself and you know that you are going to the doctor and doing what it is that you have to do, you're not the bad guy.
I've heard people say that they're not having sex anymore, and I just laugh because I know that once they get over the shock of the diagnosis, that the sex drive is there anyway.
I can still date. I can still have children. I'm still gonna marry one day. I have no doubt in that.
I have a saying, HIV stops with me. And I really want to give people a chance and a choice to make their decision based upon, what I tell them.
Disclosure is so key. It makes sex so much better when you know that you've been honest.
9 times out of 10, that person will respect you for just being honest.
I talked to him and said, I have HIV and I've been positive for a year. And he did just that, laughed. He looked at me and he laughed. And I said, did you hear me?
The only thing about it is that you want to just do it definitely with protection this time. That's just the only thing that's different. I'm not talking about how many sexual partners you have or anything like that, but it's important to disclose and it's important to use protection. That is the only difference between how I was before I was diagnosed and how I am now.
You feel good about saying that?
Yeah. I feel honest.
If they don't respect you, you do not need them in your life.
You're probably going to have to face some rejection.
If someone rejects you because of your HIV status, to me, that says something about them.
And for those people in your life that leave, my advice to you is to understand that sometimes people are put in our lives for seasons and reasons.
Just because that one person rejected you does not mean that everybody's going to reject you.
You're going to find someone who loves you for you, and for whom the HIV is not a concern.
That's it. You didn't hear me, did you?
I told her, yes I did. It's just that I love you for who you are, and that's how it's going to be, and I will have your back all the way through.
Is that all you had to tell me? She loved me for 10 years.
Met him on Facebook, and the first night we got on the phone, he just asked me what it is that I do. And I told him I speak on HIV, and he asked, well, how did you get into that? Well, I'm living with HIV.
He means the world to me. We're very happy together. We have always been.
As a matter of fact, this June we'll celebrate 26 years of marriage. Yeah.
But meeting Josh and being with Josh made me open my eyes to realize that there's other things in this earth that we should be worried about.
I never thought that I would find love. And I'm saying to you, if you're newly diagnosed, you will find people who will truly want to be with you, who will truly love you, if you allow that.
And like I said, allow that person to love you because they want to.
One of the things that I've always believed in understanding is one of the ways that you fight stigma, one of the ways that you fight bias is by standing up and being strong in who you are. Being strong and assertive and not aggressive, but standing firm and saying, yes, I am HIV positive.
Because this is a problem that has taken too many lives. And the best way to counteract it is to stand up and say, you know, I may be HIV positive, but I'm going to take a stand within myself and my community.
Speak out about your HIV status, and it's going to take time, but shoot for that goal because that will give you a sense of purpose and a unique perspective that not many other people have.
Lo más importante para mí es que creo mucho en mí y yo sé y siento que soy una persona grande, entonces eso hace que tenga mucha fuerza siempre.
Honestly, I feel liberated because when I wasn't being honest about my status, I found myself lying. I had to tell another lie after a lie after a lie after another lie, and now I just feel like I can just be honest with myself, be honest with me, and I feel, you know, at peace now.
My ultimate goal is to have a billboard in the middle of Charlotte-Mecklenburg County with my face saying I'm HIV positive. Now what?
It's almost like I can wear it on a shirt. And that's what I do because people nowadays associate me with being an advocate for people living with HIV.
My biggest joy in life would probably be having a second chance at life.
HIV has been a positive thing in my life. You may not be able to see that right now.
Being positive has made me to be able to appreciate those things that are beautiful in life more.
And life has been more rewarding.
But for me, it changed the way that I live my life. It changed the way that I look at life. It made me want to succeed. It made me want to do things that I've never done before.
The AIDS gave me a purpose to help somebody. You know, to let them know that you can live today.
Siento que mi propósito en la vida ha estado muy ligado con la comunidad, con enseñar y con poder dar todo de mí para la gente que me rodea. Entonces, básicamente es eso, tener la posibilidad de enseñar y ayudar.
Being that HIV affected me, it made me want to become more involved in helping the world, period. Because a lot of people are suffering, a lot of people go through a lot of things health-wise, and it's important that we all be here for each other.
If I can reach one person and prevent them from having to live with this disease, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
The job that I do it brings me so much joy until I can't describe it. I don't know what else to say about it.
It's about choices, personal responsibility. It's about understanding that they have a role in this, and as long as they're doing everything they can to stay healthy, they will be.
There's nothing to say that you have to live a certain way. That's only because you choose to.
Life is not over. We're still young.
I was fine before I found out about it. Why can't I be the same way afterwards? Life still goes on.
Embrace life as if there is nothing else.
I am pro-life. Like, I choose to live. This is my choice.
La vida sigue, la vida sigue.
Take somebody's hand. Allow somebody to walk with you during this journey. Allow somebody to be with you during this journey. If nobody's told you that they love you, let me be the first to say that I have nothing but an agape love for each and every one of you.
And love is love, and that's all that matters.
But after being diagnosed, there hasn't been any real negatives that I would allow into my life.
You know, HIV positive. At one point, I didn't see anything positive in being HIV positive, but today I honestly changed it around.
Since I am positive, I want to be positive.
The more that people see healthy and happy and successful people living with HIV, the less negative stereotypes they're going to have about people living with HIV.
And I know that it gets better if you allow it to. Thank you and good night.
But you know what I asked the nurse? I said, nurse, I said, since I have AIDS, when I drink beer, she said, Miss Hoon, you go home and drink all the beer you want.
And she like kids, so
I only want 2 though.
I want more.
If you got busybodies in your family that you know, if I disclose my status to my Aunt Lucy is going to share it with everybody on the block and everybody in the family, then maybe Aunt Lucy ain't one of the ones that you might need to share with in the beginning. Maybe Aunt Lucy might need to mind her business and you might need to keep that away from Aunt Lucy.
Oye, el teléfono. ¿Por qué?
But my mom just found out I was HIV positive 4 years ago, and I've been positive over 20 years. And the reason why I didn't tell her is because she's Channel 9 News. She'll tell everybody.
You know, she sat there with me for hours and let me cry on her shoulder. It's okay, Chandler. It's okay, I'm better now.
I try to take care of myself through eating a little more healthy than I used to. Sometimes I still go to Bojangles for a biscuit.
I mean, I'm able to still be myself. With him, we're able to exchange. I don't know what I was going to exchange. That does.